SJCAM SJ4000 Wi-Fi, SJ4000 Plus Standard, and SJ4000 Plus Gyro. What on earth is the difference between all these three models? Well, stay with me throughout this video and you'll find out, I promise. What is the difference between all these three cameras? SJ4000 normal version, no plus, comes in two versions, Wi-Fi and non-Wi-Fi. In this video I'll compare only Wi-Fi version, but you should know that the only difference between the two is that the Wi-Fi has built-in Wi-Fi which allows you to connect to an app. Few months after successful release of the SJ4000, company decided to release another version, improved SJ4000 Plus. However, due to problems that appeared with this camera, they relaunched SJ4000 Plus and created a new version, SJ4000 Plus Gyro. So, the difference between the standard and the gyro version is that the gyro version has a built-in video stabilization and few more minor features inside the menu. But everything else between these two versions in terms of hardware is absolutely the same. Let's now take a look at the footage that these cameras make. I recorded it side by side and you can see here the default options I used. You'll notice that the gyro version has a narrow angle compared to other two. This is because the stabilization was turned on. Software stabilization means that the camera will narrow down the angle. I'll not go much into details on how stabilization works, but most importantly, it does narrow the angle. But as you see here now in this jogging test, it is quite obvious that the gyro version has much better stabilization of footage. It is not mind-blowing stabilization, still it is much better compared to the Wi-Fi and Plus standard version. In terms of colors, Plus versions do create a bit more vibrant colors, but in a daylight it is not a huge difference. I mean, take a look at this. Really, there is not a huge difference between these cameras in terms of colors, though I noticed that depending on the light, gyro or standard will create a bit more vivid colors, as I said. In low light situations and night, there is no difference between gyro and standard. As I already mentioned, difference between the video quality of these two will not be visible because there is no difference in terms of colors, just stabilization is different. However, the Wi-Fi version is noticeably different in low light situations. It is not huge difference again, but it offers a bit inferior low light video. It should be also mentioned that the Plus versions do have recording at 60 frames per second in full HD and also support 2K videos, whereas the maximum video resolution and frames per second of the Wi-Fi version is 180p 30 frames per second.
Veliki producent DJ-eva uvek stiže u Beograd i to će biti sutra večer kada će nastupati u Bell Expo centru i to će biti odlična žurka, garantujem. Trenutno cena ulaznica u pretprodaji iznosi 1200 dinara za regularnu i 1690 dinara za VIP ulaznicu. Kad smo kod veliki producent DJ-eva uvek stiže u Beograd i to će biti sutra večer kada će nastupati u Bell Expo centru i to će biti odlična žurka, garantujem. Trenutno cena ulaznica u pretprodaji iznosi 1200 dinara za regularnu i 1690 dinara za VIP ulaznicu. Tamo se igraju. I vikend kad smo kod veliki producent DJ-eva uvek stiže u Beograd i to će biti sutra večer kada će nastupati u Bell Expo centru i to će biti odlična žurka, garantujem. Trenutno cena ulaznica u pretprodaji iznosi 1200 dinara za regularnu i 1690 dinara za VIP ulaznicu. Tamo se igraju game team.
You probably noticed that the Plus versions, both Standard and Gyro, have a bit better and in terms of volume, higher audio quality. So that's something that you should also have in mind while considering which one of these three to get. All three cameras do not have an impressive photo quality. SJ4000 Plus, both Gyro and Standard version, have a 4 megapixel sensor, whereas the SJ4000 Wi-Fi, which is twice as cheaper, has a 3 megapixel sensor. Here you see how images look when scaled to 200%, and you will notice that they are not sharp at all, none of them. Though SJ4000 Plus Gyro seems a bit more softer even compared to the SJ4000 Wi-Fi, which seems to have the sharpest image quality, which is not something I expected. Okay, that's everything. I hope that this video helped you in a way to decide which of these three is the best for you, but let me give you my 2 cents. SJ4000 Wi-Fi still remains an excellent value for the money camera. I strongly recommend it for beginners and people who need an LCD screen on their camera and do not need something fancy such as 60 frames per second in their video. They do not do much slow motion and stuff like that. SJ4000 Standard is the version that I would avoid unless you really get a good deal on it, which is around, let's say, 100 to 120 bucks. Everything above that is just money wasted. So if you need video stabilization, you probably should get a gyro version, which is of course the best of all these three, which is only better because of its built-in video stabilization and few more features inside the menu, such as out-of-the-box slow motion video and few more. So for more information on these cameras, I'll put some useful links in the description of this video where you can read more on my blog, where I also put side-by-side comparison charts and few more things that are not covered in this video. So thank you very much for watching and see you again in the next video. Bye bye.